Financial management practice question, section B type question, topic investment appraisal. Question name BRT company, and this question is actually extracted from BBB revision kit, and the BBB revision kit actually amended the question of June 2011. This is case-based objective test question, and everybody knows that whenever you face any of the objective test question, section B type question of financial management, you will face 5 questions. You have to attempt 5 questions, 5 objective test questions. But make sure before starting the answer of any objective test question, make sure that you have already read and understand the case study very carefully. Once again, the protocol to attempt the section B type question of financial management is that first you have to read this small case very carefully. Okay, so let's start the question by reading the case study and make sure we have to understand the case very carefully. So let's start. BRT company has developed a new confectionery line that can be sold for $5 per box. That's the sales price $5, and that is expected to have a continuing popularity for many years. Finance director has proposed that investment in the new product should be evaluated over 4 years time horizon. That's investment appraisal must be for 4 years, even though sales would continue after 4th year, on the grounds that the cash flows after 4 years are too uncertain to be included. Here the case about investment appraisal, where the life cycle of the product is more than 4 years, but here the requirement is to evaluate the project for 4 years. Okay, the variable cost all in current price terms, real terms, will depend on the sales volume are as follows. Variable cost per box means per unit. If the sales volume somewhere less than 1 million, so the variable cost 2.8. Variable cost $3 per unit if the volume 1 to 1.9 million. $3 per unit the variable cost if the sales units 2 to 2.9 million, and 3.05 variable cost per unit if the sales volume 3 to 3.9 million. Next one, forecast sales volumes are as follows. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. So demand of the boxes 0.7 million, which means if 0.7 million is a demand and considered as sales, so here we will take the value of variable cost 2.8 per unit. Here 2, 1.6 million, 1.6 million. So that means we will take $3 per unit. 2.1 million, that's $3 per unit. 3.0 million, that's 3.05. That's a point. Tax allowable depreciation, 25% reducing balance basis could be claimed on the cost of equipment. Okay. Profit tax means tax rate 30% per year payable 1 year in arrears, and the balance allowance would be claimed in 4th year of the operation. That's very no inflation. The average general level of inflation expected to be 3% per year for selling price and variable cost. That's called a specific inflation. BRT company use nominal after tax cost of capital 12% for appraise new investment projects. After tax cost of capital. Nominal after tax cost of capital 12%. If examiner not mention the cost of capital, it's after tax or pre-tax, we will always assume that it's after tax. If examiner not mention that is nominal or real cost of capital, only mention WACC, only mention cost of capital, we will assume that that is nominal. So here categorically mention nominal and after tax, okay. If it's just mentioned 12%, cost of capital 12%. So that's considered by default after tax, by default nominal. Until unless if it's mentioned cost of capital cost of capital real terms. Sir, it may be possible that cost of capital pre-tax, that's a discussion we will continue with the cost of capital, WACC working. Because cost of capital includes two components, KE and KD. Tax only affect to the KD, not KE. Why? This will be the part of next lectures after investment appraisal. Don't worry. But the here important thing, only one important thing. If just mention cost of capital 12%, it's by default after tax, it's by default nominal. Okay, next point. A trainee accountant at BRT company has started a spreadsheet to calculate NPV of the proposed new project. And this is what about the extract of the spreadsheet. The extract of the spreadsheet. Students, are you with me? Can you please reply me? Extract of the spreadsheet. Here the data, that's column and rows. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the figures are in thousands. Inflated sales, that's all missing. Inflated variable cost, all missing. Fixed cost, okay. Net cash flows, taxation, tax benefits, working capital, investment, project cash flows, discount rate 12%. 12%, that 12% here. Discount rate is 12%. That's after tax and nominal. And here's something mentioned, inflated sales, inflated variable cost. That means cash flows, it's although the figures are missing, but reflecting nominal cash flows. The project cash flows reflecting nominal cash flows. And the discount factors, it's also nominal. It's present value, that's missing here. Based on this, examiner examine these 5 questions. These 5 questions based on the above case study. Whoever taking the live session, can you please reply me? Are you with me? Thank you for the response. Let's move one by one. One by one. Question number 1. What is the sales figure for year 2 in cell D3 in the spreadsheet to the nearest thousands? It's very important to notify here. Here, number 1, the examiner with this question asked something about calculation, number 1. And the calculation related to sales figure of year 2. And here we have to calculate the answer with the nearest 000 in dollars. That's volume and in dollars. So that means year 3 and D3. Year 3 and D3. This figure examiner wanted to know. Here, what should be the figure? What should be the figure? So number 1, the price is $5. We will consider that this is the real price and we need to inflate. What is the inflation rate? That is 3%. That is 3%. And the volume, that is 1.6 million, 1.6 million. So if we calculate the figure in this way, that's $5 multiplied by 1.03 power 2 multiplied by 1600,000. It's better to calculate the value in thousand, if particularly examiner mentioned to calculate the value in thousands. So you need to calculate the value in your calculator. I can calculate here is equal to 5 into 1.03 power 2 into 1600,000. That is 848 7200. 848 7200. So here I can mention, if the answer is $848 7200, so I can mention $8487. 8487. If your calculator is reflecting the value of 8487200 and examiner asking you to answer the question in thousand, so rounding of thousand, that you have to put the value 8487. Can you please reply me? Is this clear? Okay, now then 151. 151. 151. What are the variable cost? What are the variable costs for year 3? Cell E4 in the spreadsheet to the nearest thousand. Cell E4. Cell E4. Cell E4. Year 3. Variable cost. Variable cost. Year 3, the volume 2.1 million. Multiply 2.1 million attached with 3. And the inflation rate is 3%. So how to calculate the value? Yes, how to calculate the value? You have to mention $3 multiplied by 1.03. Here the power 3. Here the power 3 multiply by the units 2100,000. 2100,000. So is equal to 3 into 1.03 power 3 multiplied by 2100,000. That's 688,4,180. 688,4,180. So I can mention 6,884. 6,884. So it's very important to practice this other type of section questions simultaneously, like this. Calculation theory board. What about the theoretical aspect? Don't worry, we will start the things from today. Okay, all set. Question number 150 done. Question number 151 done. Now question number 152. All set, all clear. Huh? What are the tax benefits? What are the tax benefits generated by tax allowable depreciation on the equipment in year 4, that is cell A to nearest thousands? Okay, year 4, cell F8, cell F8. Here, tax benefit, that tax saving from capital allowance. It's not about capital allowance, it's about tax saving from capital allowance. And do remember, the taxes are 1 year delay. So here is a very simple structure now, students. Very simple structure. For example, there are 3 years, the game of 3 years. I hope that you have started your lectures accordingly. Tax depreciation and tax savings. Okay, come on. Here mentioned 25% reducing balance basis and the tax rate is 30%. And the investment, what is the value of investment? What is the value of investment? What is the value of investment? That is 2 million. That is 2 million. That is 2 million. So start is equal to 2 million into 0.25, 25%. Then 500,000 into 0.75. Then into 0.75. We have to work for the year 3. We have to work for the year 3. And tax savings, it's 1 year delay into 0.3. 0.3. It's very simple. Once again, tax depreciation is about 25% reducing balance. Tax saving, that is 30%. So is equal to first year 2 million into 0.25. Then next year 75. Then 75. No need to move forward now, because we have to identify for the year 4 tax savings. So year 4 tax savings actually reflects from year 3, because it's 1 year delay. 500,000 into 0.3. So here is the figure. That is 8437. 8437. 84375. Sir, here we need to answer in 1000. So answer is 84. Answer is 84. Students who are taking the live session, can you please reply me? Is this clear to all of you? And what the students who will watch my video, if you have any problem, you can ask me on the WhatsApp. But there is a challenge here. The challenge is that whenever you are attempting the section A and B type question, the spreadsheet will not be available. The spreadsheet will not be available. So you have to work out manually with this. You have to work out with the calculator, huh? Because I'm doing with the Excel, huh? Just move the cursor, nothing else. Alter tab, move the alter tab, nothing else. But it's not possible during exam. Whenever you are working for tax benefit like these things, you can move at a time. Either you will work for the section B or you will work for the section C. So that's the challenge you will face. But don't worry, it's not the big challenge. You can do the things quickly in the calculator. No worries about that. The same working. Okay. As you know that the FM, all of the exam, it's based on, it's a combination of theory and calculation. It's a theory and calculation. So even the section B type questions also reflects the combination of theory and calculation. Okay, so now come on. Question number 153. It's mentioned, examiner asks here, which of the following statements about the investment appraisal are true or false? Related to case, the trainee accountant has used the wrong percentage of cost of capital. Here, trainee accountant use the 12% cost of capital, which is nominal and also tax adjusted. And here, the spreadsheet reflects something about the nominal. So that means the trainee accountant has used the right percentage of the cost of capital. It's not the wrong percentage. So the statement is false. The statement is false. Okay, next one. Another one. Ignoring sales. Okay, I'm going to repeat it. Here, the statement mentioned trainee accountant used wrong percentage, but trainee accountant used the right percentage. So that means this statement is false. So first you have to admit this point. The trainee accountant has used the right percentage because here the cost of capital inflated and the cash flows are inflated. The concept behind is that there are two methods to calculate NPV. Number one, nominal. Number two, real. Nominal method means all the cash flows of the project should be nominal. The cash flows, the future cash flows are nominal, and discounted also nominal. Or other way, all the cash flows are in real and discounted also real. So here the case, the cash flows in the spreadsheet reflects the nominal and discounted here available the nominal. So trainee accountant is right with respect to the discount rate. Other things are wrong like cash flows and other things, but here the cost of capital matters. He's absolutely right. So if the trainee accountant has used the right percentage, so this statement reflects he used the wrong percentage. That's why this statement is false. Is this clear? That's good. Number two, ignoring sales after 4 years. Underestimate the value of the project. First of all, your majority question in F9 reflects that in this manner. For example, Samsung has launched a new mobile set, new model of the mobile, having a life of 4 years. After 4 years, the project become obsolete and the model will will be discontinued. This type of case normally examine with your exam questions. But in the practical world, that's not actually happen. That's not necessary. That's these only investment appraisal with only the life cycle based. For example, let's say you are appraising a project. You are appraising of the project of a product launched by the bank. Any of the fintech technology, any of the credit card launched by the bank. So if I'm asking you that, if a bank going to launch a credit card, what's the expected life of the credit life? Your answer must be, sir, there's no life. No one knows that. Or for example, if insurance company launching some insurance policy, so what's the life of that insurance policy or for that particular product? No one knows. No one knows. But still, in the professional world, we appraise the investment for certain life. For example, a bank approaches you and says that we are going to launch a credit card, this product, but in appraise this project for 5 years. Appraise this project for the 5 years. That doesn't mean that the life of the project is the 5 years, but only considerable point that have to appraise the project for 5 years. This advanced points you will study in your AFM subject, not here. But the very basic point, if any of the project having a life more than 4 years and no one knows after 4 years how much the life, actually you are undermining the value of the project. Do reply me, is this right or wrong? If any of the project life it's unlimited and no one knows, and we are appraising the project only for limited time period, so we are actually underestimating the value of the project. Do reply me, true or false? Yes, that's absolutely true. If having a project, the life more than 4 years and we are appraising only for the 4 years, so actually we are ignoring the profitability of this product after 4 years. If we are ignoring the profitability of the product or projects after 4 years, so we are undermining the value of the project. So second statement is absolutely true. Can you please reply me? All of you people are with me? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the response. Third one, which of the following statements about project appraisal are true or false? Point number 3, 1 and 2 is done. Point number 3, working capital figure AR 4 is wrong. So what we should do if you assess that, if we wanted to opt the answer true or false, we have to check the figure. AR 4 working capital. AR 4 working capital. AR 4 working capital. AR 4 is the last year of the project. Okay. So what normally happens? We will assume that last, if we consider that only 4 year life need to consider. So what's the theory of the working capital? All of the working capital will recover by the company. So here the figure is 750. 750, it's only the year 0 investment. This figure is wrong. Here the figure must be is equal to 750 plus 23 plus 23 plus 24 is equal to what? Is equal to 750 plus 23 plus 23 plus 24. 820. 820. So yes, this figure is wrong. The figure must be 820. So it's a figure wrong? Yes, it's a figure wrong. The statement is absolutely true. The figure is wrong? Yes, wrong. So this statement is absolutely true. Why it's wrong? Because a figure should be 820. That's a problem. So question number 150, 151, 152, 153, that's we have done. Now it's about question number 154. Question number 154. Question number 154. What is this about? Read it carefully. Read it carefully. Read it carefully. Question number 154. Don't worry, I will repeat after the question. First, attempt the question number 154. Are you able to hear me? Can you please reply me? Students, are you able to hear me? Okay. A very good question. Theoretical content of the investment appraisal. The trainee accountant at BRT company, the trainee accountant of BRT company has calculated internal rate of return for the project. Are the following statements true or false? Internal rate of return. First of all, do let me know what is the meaning of internal rate of return. Internal rate of return means project's return. Internal rate of return means project's return. Internal rate of return means project's return or the project potential. Project potential. One of the return is with respect to the investor. For example, let's take one example. You are an investor and I am presenting you one proposal of the investment. And my communication style is that, sir, this is what about the complete projection of the project. That's the future cash flows and all these things. This is NPV positive. Sir, I'm asking you, sir, what is your expected return? That is about cost of capital. Investor required return. But if some investor asks what is the potential of the project, that is called IRR. So there are two different things: project potential and investor required return. Quickly answer me. If that means you are an investor, your required return is 10%. Let's take one example. Your required return 10%, but the project potential is 13%. You need investment, your required is 10%, but the project potential is 13%. Will you accept the project? Yes or no? You will say, obviously, sir. Nothing to need to learn something. Some people learn the thing. If IRR greater than cost of capital, for God's sake, don't learn anything. It's a common sense. Use the brain. If you as investor having a required return, it's lower and the project potential is higher, you will accept the project. Most welcome, and vice versa. So first is that, are these following statements are true? Number two, first I'm reading the number two. The project is financially viable under if IRR means project potential, exceed cost of capital. Do reply me, true or false? True or false? Quickly, true or false? Yes, absolutely right. That's true, sir. That's true. Number two, normally, the investment decision by NPV and the investment decision by IRR both remain same. Normal means when the cash flow patterns are conventional. Conventional means normal cash flows. What does that mean? I will tell you, don't worry. The NPV and IRR methods will give the same accept or reject decision. For example, if I'm saying to you that normally what happens, let's suppose there are mutually exclusive projects. There are mutually exclusive projects. That I have a limited fund and I wanted to invest either A, either B. For example, NPV plus 1000 and plus 900. Positive 1000, positive 900. IRR, here for example 8% and here 6%. What does that mean? According to NPV, the decision must be to take up project A, and same with IRR. There is no conflict. So in normal circumstances, IRR and NPV having both same decision making. Sir, you are saying the word normal circumstances, but here the question mentioned the term conventional. What does that mean? Yes, listen carefully. As the investment appraisal lectures going on, you will get the things, you will get the advanced things later on, no? About conventional, non-conventional cash flows. Listen carefully. The future cash flows. Let's one example. 300, 400, 500, 200, 100. This is normally you deal the cases in this manner. Year 0 is investment, and year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is return. Investment at only year 0, and then further cash flows are returns. but it may also possible. No? Year 0 investment, year 1 returns, then year 2 further investment required, and then getting the more return. Practically, it may also possible. These type of cash flows called non-conventional cash flows. This is abnormal situation, but I'm not discussing this point right now. It's very early. Normally, whatever you study is zero investment, then all future cash flows are returns. Or at one go, the investment, for example, year 0, year 1, it's investment, then move on the returns. These are conventional cash flows. These are normal circumstances. Now read the statement. When cash flow patterns are conventional, convention means normal investment appraisal techniques. When cash flow patterns are conventional, the NPV and IRR methods will give the same accept and reject decision. Is this true or false? True or false? Do reply me. True or false? That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. So that means both statements are true. Both statements are true. So this is what about a practice question of this BRT company, topic investment appraisal. So for this question, thank you very much. I hope that you people have enjoyed that particular question, enjoyed this discussion about this question. So that's all about this question.